Eamon.
Eamon.
Okay, we pick up where we last left off with Eamon. Um, and you're in the town of Hartledge where you've grown up your entire life, Eamon. And you're working as a bouncer for your dad Richard, um, Dick Gitym, um, Dick Gitym, if you prefer. And you're working as his bouncer for the merchant shop. You've kind of helped out a little bit with him with the actual merchant stuff, but you found that you like being a bouncer and fighting off ruffians and going to the bar and not having to worry about your dad's directly merchant reputation by beating up a few idiots. Um, it's a pretty slow day. What kind of shop is it?
Merchant shop.
Okay, what like general store kind of thing?
Uh, exotic goods.
Like
Exotic goods.
like what kind of stuff? Come on, give me some examples.
It's like fabrics and just different things from traveling
Okay,
from
so
other
fabrics.
places.
Got it. So your dad sells fabrics. Um, it's because you've got like different silks and everything like that. Like you kind of make a lot of your dad makes a lot of money. Um, especially in a town like Hartledge where you're pretty much the only one bringing that kind of stuff in. Um, while you're kind of in the back with your dog Philip, um, just kind of petting him, hanging out, and you hear the little doorbell ring, and your dad start to greet someone. Um, and then after like you hear some mumbled voices and just talking and stuff like that, and then you hear your dad Richard go, Eamon,
Coming.
as your dog pins its ears and starts growling. Um, and as you walk through the door, you see one guy holding your dad at knife point, and another like ripping fabric off the wall.
Philip, hand. And Philip runs and bites the hand of the knife.
Oh, okay. Um, go ahead and roll your +2. What is his actual base attack +0? All right, go ahead and roll d20. Okay, Philip rushes up, catches the man off guard, and just sinks his teeth into his hand. And he drops the knife, but he catches it in his other hand, and winds up to stab your dog. What do you do?
I rush with my dog and punch him in the face
Okay, you
as
go
he's
ahead and
dealing
roll.
with my dog.
Okay, you go ahead and roll. What is yours? 1d20 +5. Ooh.
My God.
You swing and he ducks it, and you punch on the counter, and you split the wood of the counter. Um, and yeah, remember combat maneuvers and everything like that, Kyle. You got all those.
Oh, can I do another action too, or like a quick thing?
What's the quick thing?
Can I growl at him?
Sure. Do an intimidation thing.
Yep.
All right, go ahead and roll intimidation.
Get fucked.
So after splitting the wood in front of him, you ground the guy's face, and he kind of starts to get a little bit shaky. At this point, the other man has come up behind you, and he stabs at you. What's your armor class? Kyle?
I'm looking. 13.
Okay, he does stab you. Roll for damage. What the? Oh, okay, there we go. He stabs you right in your gut, and you take 7 damage.
Okay. Ooh, is there like initiative or?
Uh, it is the other bandit's turn at this point.
The one with
Um,
the dog on his arm that I just growled at.
yes, and he does stab at your dog.
What? I just scared him. He's not frightened.
I know. He stabs at your dog, and because you frighten him, he misses completely. Um, and gets his dagger wedged in the bar next towards and throws your dad onto the ground. What
Wait,
do you do?
he had. How could he have caught the knife if he was one hand had the dog on it and?
Because so he was wrapped around your dad.
Okay.
Yeah, and then now he just freed up his hands after he kind of like awkwardly stabbed the dog, and then just kind of pushed the dog or pushed your dad to the ground. What are you gonna do?
All right. I am going to. One second. So I'm going to use martial flexibility to get another combat feat.
Okay.
The combat feat I am choosing is extra elemental assault.
Okay. What's that?
So I'm going to use elemental assault 2 to coat my arms in fire. No, in electricity.
Okay.
Wait, no, I'm going to use acid. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm going to coat my arms in acid, and the extra assault makes it last an extra turn.
Okay. So after being stabbed and just seeing your dad in like thrown to the ground and your dog like almost stabbed, you just feel something inside of you that you've never really felt before, and you just scream out like super loud, and like flex your arms, and just green acid begins to ooze out of all of your pores, and you turn and go to sock one of the men, the
The one
like
who
bandits in
stabbed
the
me.
face. Yeah, the one who stabbed you. So you just turn and you just go ape shit on him. So go ahead and
Yes.
roll.
What's it's D20 plus 5.
Yes. So you just turn and you just sock him right in the face. And you're wearing your gauntlet and your armor, and you just clench your gauntlet and just put the spike of it like right through his head. Um, and just acid like pours out of your skin and just burns his face, and he just collapses in a heap like in front of you. His face just completely melted. At this
Uh,
point, give me a intimidation roll again.
I was going to turn around and roar at the other one. Oh,
So the other 1 second, double check one thing.
yeah. What's the save against intimidation?
Um, the At this point, the other bandit tries to scramble over the counter, and goes to run out the door. And as he pushes open the door to run outside, you notice a cane stick out and just tangle up his legs, and he just falls flat on his face outside.
Can I chase after him and beat him to a pulp on the ground, ignoring the cane?
Yep.
All right.
So you
Uh,
run forward.
leap
Go ahead
over
and
the
give me another
counter
attack roll.
and dive at him.
Okay. You're gonna what? I'm sorry.
I'm gonna jump on top of him because he tripped and bashed the back of his skull into the ground.
Okay. Give me I believe. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You hit either way. Um. So your spike just slams into the back of his head, and acid is just oozing out of your arms at this point, as you utterly annihilate this guy.
After beating him to a pulp, and I'm satisfied with the 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 image of his face splattered on the ground, I look at the cane and who's holding it.
You look up and you see Balaron Farsighted, the current master of the town. He's an old, wizened old man. He's 53 years old, but he acts like jovial and young. Um, he's got really long, bushy eyebrows and a white beard. He's got his stereotypical old man cane with like a T shape at the top that he used to trip the guy. Um, and there's like a small crowd who kind of gathered around you. It's like 5 or 6 people, I guess. And they're all kind of looking on in like shock as you have this just acid like dripping from your hands onto the ground.
Uh,
Um, what?
I stand up and apologize to the master of the town, say I'm sorry for the scene, and put my arms out.
He
My
uh,
out as in I take the acid away.
he looks over at you and kind of like taps you with his cane to go back inside the merchant's house. And he turns and he goes, "Go away, nothing to see here." And he makes and like the other people kind of look sideways, and out of respect for him, though, they leave. And two guardsmen show up and like start dragging the bodies off. And he follows you into the house. Inside the house, your dad has stood up. He's like looking at the just mutilated body in front of you, and he's kind of shaking his head, and he has like his hand in his hand. I'm sorry, his head in his hand. Um, and he goes, "Eamon, what have you done?" Eamon, sorry, which one?
Even.
Eamon, what have you done? And Balaron looks kind of not disappointed. He just looks very stoic, like he's not really showing any emotion. And he goes, "Richard, who was his mother?" And Richard, your dad, kind of like looks up at him and he's like, what were the names of them, Kyle?
Suli.
So, that your
Wait, no,
race or
John. John.
okay? Your mom's name was John.
No, that's the race.
Oh, Jan.
That's the race. That's the race.
Yes. So your mom, John. No, I was kidding. So he it explains that your mother. You kind of sit down because this is a lot for you to take in. You didn't know this was going to happen. You kind of like sit down, and your dad explains that your mother was a Jan, which is like a type of elemental genie and stuff like that. And he kind of goes into what that means. The whole time, Balaron is just kind of standing stoically. Um, and after he finishes the story, Balaron goes, "I think it would be best for Aemon to come to the town meeting tomorrow."
What's it about?
I can reveal more when it gets closer, but as of now, I think it is just important that you come.
Uh, I guess. Okay.
You kind of get the feeling that it's not really something like you can tell he's giving you a break by not just putting you straight into jail.
Yeah.
For like despite the fact that these are bandits, you did kind of murder them. Um,
So if I come to this meeting, can we look past the robbers or attempted
that is
robbers?
yet to be determined.
Heard.
What?
Gotcha.
Oh, um, so he says goodbye to you, um, and he says that he'll see you tomorrow, and he walks out of the house. And you and your dad kind of drag the last guy outside, and the guards take him away. And your dad really doesn't say anything to you. He's kind of in shock with everything that's happened. He goes up to his bedroom and just shuts the door, and you don't really see him the rest of the night or the next morning.
Can I go find a spare rag to tie up my stab wound?
Yeah, yeah, you can. You
Okay.
heal overnight. You take care of all that stuff overnight.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're patched up. You're back at 14 health. Um, and you make your way to the town hall the next morning. You know the way by heart. It's not very far. Um, and as you walk in to the room, you stand behind Balron. He gestures you over, and you see Valros the Dragon Slayer standing with a goblin and very pale man with golden eyes. Um, you see Mauriziel standing with a very tall, very thin elf, and you see, excuse me, Kira Swansong, the human or the priestess of Ledia, standing with shit. What is your character's name, Tex? Belarus.
Yep.
Belarus, the alchemist from the town. And it's obvious that the meeting is about to start. There's a little hushed conversations, but that's about all that's going on at this point. And Belarus stands up and gestures for everyone to listen to him, and that is where we're going to stop.
Wait, that's it?
Yep.
Wait, did my dog come with me to the meeting?
Did he come with you to the meeting?
I would think I brought my dog with me. It's my guard dog.
Okay, then yeah, you brought him with you.
All right, and he's sitting by the door.
Okay.
Oh, the cliffhangers.
What'd you say?
The cliffhangers.
I know. That's Kyle. That's where I dropped everyone off. Like
That's fucked up, man.